but today I wasn't so lucky. I mean, it wasn't just a regular funeral, was it? All Sharpwood showed up. Can you imagine? I had a teacher, Mrs. Dawson. I haven't seen her since the 3rd grade. Figured she'd moved or died. I mean, it's not easy to lose track of someone in this town, right? And today, I'm looking at her in the crowd, all alive and healthy. Imagine, right? And the crowd was huge. It wasn't even a crowd, more like a whole river of people. I mean, you look at all of them and you can't even see the end. All the roads were blocked. Just thinking. It's weird. There's this dead guy who's making it so an alive guy can't get his groceries on time, right? I mean, I just wanted to say, I really respect Sheriff Wells. He died a hero, right? Ask anyone. Everybody says he's a hero. But I'm just saying, I got a job to do. I don't want to lose it. Nobody wants to lose a job because it's not easy to find a new job in Sharpwood, right? So,
The money's right there in front of your nose. Don't bother with the change.
Mr. Nash, thank you. I just wanted to say that you don't need to call Mr. Summers. I mean, he'll be yelling at me either way. I deserve it, right? I'm just... Oh, by the way, those cigars you asked about? Caesars, right? Mr. Summers said we normally don't have them in stock, but we can order them. Maybe it'll take a couple of weeks or so, but what's a couple of weeks when it's a quality product, right? I remember one day I was looking...
Forget it. I don't know how long I'll be staying.
Oh, I hope. I mean, I hope that you won't be leaving too soon. You're like our best customer. Oh, or at least one of our best customers, am I right? I know there's a lot of stuff going on. Lots of folks are leaving. Even Pale Charlie left, and he's even older than you. He's 90 or something. Maybe even 100. I mean, I'm sure you'll find yourself a decent job, right? I mean, have a good day, Mr. Nash.
Hey, Lily. So we're getting rid of this thing tomorrow?
What? We do what?
That drawing thing in the hall. We're taking it down tomorrow? I already called Uncle Dimitri. He'll cart it off for us. Might even get a couple of bucks for it.
Whoa. First, it's not a drawing. It's a tapestry, okay? A beautiful work of art. You didn't notice, did you? Second, it's hanging there for a reason. And third, and most important,
Oh, you mean that drawing in the hall? Great. I'll get a hanger tomorrow so we can put the TV up there. Maybe a VCR, too. What do you think?
Jesse, we are not taking down the tapestry.
TV? That's not a bad idea. Sure, but I was thinking, well, I thought we could put a snack machine here. I'm tired of having to drive 20 minutes over to Bad Ears gas station for smoked cheese in the middle of work. Like I've got nothing better to do, right? As if
You see how much space that giant thing takes up? We can put a TV up, an arcade game, probably even a pinball machine. Speaking of which, my son moved in with his wife and dairy, so we've got an extra VCR. Only thing is, he took all his videotapes with him, so we can't...
Oh, no, tapes are no problem. I've got lots of tapes. Plus, if we tell the guys that everyone's bringing in a couple of movies, then we...
Look, I just need you to...
Hey, what kind of movies you got? All sorts. Bloody Shirt 2, Bloody Shirt 3, Bloody Shirt 4, Hard-Boiled Women, Demons on Fifth Avenue.
And you've got that movie where this pilot is flying around the earth, but he's running out of fuel over the ocean, so he makes a deal with Satan, and Satan sends him to fight an army of skeletons, and the skeleton general, you can't fuck with him.
Yeah, that's The Wind Blows into Hell. One of my favorites. Goes without saying, that's every man's favorite movie. Am I right or am I right? When I saw him at the end, when the girl throws the sword into the fire, my heart jumped out of my chest. Betty almost needed to call the ambulance. I swear to God.
You need to take better care of yourself, old man.
I've also got this movie. It's actually a cartoon, but it's for adults, you know. This guy gets the ability to undress people with his mind. So he goes into work, and he works in a bank, and his boss is a real bitch. But the bitch has some great boobs, and she calls him over to her.
Tomorrow. We'll just discuss it tomorrow.
And she says there's some problem with this quarterly report. Some kind of paper got filed in wrong, and he asked, like you sure?
What the hell, Gail? Sit down and get ready to type. We agreed.
Lily, we'll finish that damn letter of yours tomorrow. And if we're lucky, we'll even...
Gail, take off your stupid hat and get back to your desk. I'm the sheriff and you'll do what I say. I'm the sheriff.
Lily, you do know you don't have to be such a bitch, right? Bad Ears gas station closes in half an hour, so if we don't finish this stupid letter in the next 10 minutes, I'll be out of smokes until the morning. And if that happens, I'll be coming into work in a bad mood tomorrow. And if I come into work in a bad mood,
Just shut up and type.
Okay. I'm ready. And for God's sake, let's stop taking half an hour on every sentence, okay?
First, read what you've got so far.
Of course, we won't be able to pay you serious money. It's like we won't be able to pay you anything at all. But I hope that you feel the same as me, that the safety of our native town of Sharpwood is a question of duty and honor, and not of material gain.
No, not just the last sentence. Read everything from the beginning.
Lily, come on.
Read it from the top.
Dear Captain Carter, I imagine you've already heard the sad news that has prompted me to write you. I'll be frank. This letter you're holding is a plea for help. The police department of Sharpwood
All right,
was deprived.
that's enough. I can't take it anymore. We'll just pick up where we left off.
Do you think Captain Carter will even read this?
Lily, let's just finish it. And then...
They got him. The guy from the flower shop, remember? He's one of the neckties. We're sure this time.
Where are they taking him? Are they bringing him here?
They already did. He's here.
Did he have the goods on him? Has he said anything? What does he know?
Well, you want to find out, or you're just going to sit there?
What happened to him?
Well, as far as I understand, he had a hard time getting into the car.
Right. Didn't like getting out of the car either. And he really didn't like the stairs. And when we handcuffed him, wow, that was no fun at all. And then when he sat down on a chair, he accidentally...
Cut the shit, Charlie.
What? The sheriff asked a direct question, and I'm trying...
Get out! All of you!
Lily, I think it'd be best if you just...
What's the problem, Gail? Isn't it best if the sheriff interrogates important suspects? Isn't it great when the commander takes a personal interest in the work? Don't you think?
Okay, guys, you hear that? Let's get out of here.
You could at least hide the suitcase.
What? Oh, this? It's just...
Charlie, shut your trap and get ready to question the suspect. Lily, I I just want
You
to...
do understand, Gail, that this will soon be over. All of this. You understand that, right?
I know, Lily. I know.
I need to finish writing that letter to Captain Carter.
Hello, my name is Bogdan. Are you satisfied with your water supply system? I bet you're not. I am here to solve your problem.
Excuse me, what?
It's not so nice to run to the toilet outside in the cold, is it? Especially at our age. You go once, you go twice, and by then you've already frozen your butt off. And it's lucky it's the only thing you've frozen off. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. And you know what I'm talking about too, don't you?
Look, listen, this isn't my house. I'm just renting it.
All the better. So the homeowner will pay for everything, while you will enjoy the new toilet in warmth and comfort.
Are you selling toilets? You sell toilets at night?
Don't be silly. We'll replace your whole water system. A new toilet in the house is, well, it's the cherry on the cake. You're right. I'm here a little after hours. Well, you see, our farm is just taking its first steps in this business, so I can only visit my customers after I'm done with my day job. But a toilet inside your house is doubly good at night, right? Do understand your needs, sir. I myself had to run to the toilet outside for 20 years every night. But when I finally got a toilet inside my house,
Please, go. Just go. I want you to leave.
I know what you're thinking. You think that in such a small house there's simply no room for a toilet. But I assure you, if you just allow me to come in for a moment...
Leave right now. I'm asking you to leave.
I just want to save both of us some time, that's all. I know that you'll change your mind. The next time you need to go in the middle of the night, you'll remember me and think, damn, that guy was right. A toilet in the house is what every adult man needs. So why don't
I've asked you to leave. You need to leave. Now. Leave.
All right. But I bet you won't last a week before you change your mind. I'm telling you right now, you won't last a week.
could hardly shut the guy up. He wasn't so tough. I didn't even get to the Phase 3. Phase 3 is where
We don't have a lot of time. They're moving their headquarters, but we should be able to nab most of them if we hurry. It's north of here, the old summer camp. But they never keep the goods at their headquarters. They always use a different place, usually an isolated house on the outskirts. Most of the time, these places have random tenants who don't even suspect that there's anything hidden under their floorboards. That way, the drugs can never be linked back to the neckties or the neckties to the drugs. You remember that little tavern called Forsetti? We went drinking there after graduation and broke that big mirror. Mr. Blaine's converted it into a house, and now he rents it out for almost nothing. 2 weeks ago, an old man moved in, and under his floorboards, there's 27 kilograms of heroin.
I'm starting to think that guy is leading us around by the nose. I bet there's 4 or 5 armed guards at the house. But you said it's a small place, right? Well, I bet there's 2 at least. I don't believe they just left the stuff under some old man's floorboards. Even if there is an old man living there, I bet he's in on it. Hey, maybe old man is just a nickname. What do you think? I bet he's a right cutthroat, hunkered down there, ready to ambush us. Maybe he already...
Well, you and Corey, go check it out. Take 2 cars in case it's not just an old man living in the house. Whoever you find there, bring them in. And don't forget about the heroin. Rest of you will come with me to storm their headquarters. Sound good to you, Lily?
Department. No. Look at this. No, well, just look, Corey. You couldn't find anyone better to watch the goods? Or they just didn't bother? Or are we missing something? What do you think, Corey? Think we're missing something? Huh? Is there some kind of special meaning to the fact that we've got drunk, dirty grandpa here, sitting in the shack watching the goods? Maybe we need to crack the code here, huh?
Well, any ideas where they hid the powder?
How about you look around while I... while I interrogate the suspect, huh? You. What's your name, old man?
Boyd.
What did you say, old man? You need to answer nice and clear when a police officer speaks to you.
My name is... Nash. Warren Nash.
I'll tell you something, Warren Nash. 15 years on the force. I've seen all sorts of dirty shits. This town isn't exactly upscale, in case you haven't noticed. I've caught thieves, caught rapists, murderers, and drug traffickers. All part of the job, you know? I'm doing my job. Nice and easy, like a professional. But here you are. This filth. You don't make it easy to be easy. Filth like you drives me up the wall. With scum like you, I just can't keep up the cold-blooded professional attitude. I just can't. You know why, Warren? Because... Oh, I'm sorry, Warren. I'll be just a second, all right?
Shit, Charlie! What the hell? Do you want...
Corey, just look for the fucking drugs while I'm busy with the fucking suspect, okay? So, Warren, filthy things like you drive me nuts. 'Cause you think that we'll never catch up with you. You think the police can't do anything. You think we just rescue cats from trees and help old ladies carry their bags up to the porch. You think, you believe, you really believe that we'll never get to you. So you don't even have to try. You taking good care of the goods here, Warren? You ready for us here, Warren? Just waiting in ambush, Warren? You did fucking nothing, Warren! Fucking nothing! Because you thought we'd never come. But here I am, Warren. Here I am! What are you gonna do now, Warren? What's the big plan, Warren?
Hey, I think I found something.
You hear that, Warren? He found something. Next time, hide it better.
Well, this looks like 27 keys of heroin to you?
I would say there's somewhere between 26 and 28 keys.
Well, that sounds like 27, right?
Yep. Looks like 27. So what are we thinking here? You load it up in the car and I'll pack up the old man. And any of this other junk we might need.
I'd like, I really need to talk to the sheriff as soon as possible.
I'm Sheriff Reed. You can talk all you like, but if I were you, I'd wait for my lawyer, Mr. Nash.
I don't, you said you're the sheriff?
That's what I said.
No, I'm just, are you Sharpwood, Sheriff?
I'm the sheriff.
Do you have the authority to...
Look, I'm wearing a shiny star on my chest. I'm sitting here in the middle of the night, and even though I'm exhausted, I'm poring over murder files that no one else wants to bother with. So yeah, I'm the sheriff. I may not be used to all this, and I'm not sure I ever will be, but I don't have another sheriff for you, Mr. Nash. You might as well accept it.
Listen, Sheriff. Sheriff Reed, right? Great, Sheriff Reed. I need to talk to the sheriff, and you're the sheriff, so... It's even better. I mean, older sheriffs sometimes... Well, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not talking about that. I just want to say that there's been a mistake. And I want to help you out here because there
was a huge batch of cocaine hiding in your house. You want me to believe you didn't know anything about it?
I rent that house. Only lived there a couple of weeks, and you know all that, right? It's easy to check, huh? Yeah, it's... but that's not important. It's not that I'm trying... Listen, Sheriff Reed, you have to listen to me very carefully. I'm a policeman, just like you know?
Oh, so you must be undercover. Is that it, Mr. Nash?
No, it's much more complicated than that. My name isn't Warren Nash.
Yeah, I already knew that. Your fake documents are so bad they practically fell apart in my hands.
If you let me explain, would you like to see my real document, Sheriff? Look, that humidor, you see it?
What?
That little box, the little wooden box on the table, see? Looks like a jewelry box?
It's locked. We'll crack it open in the morning.
Wouldn't you rather open it now? Please, Sheriff Reed, let's open it now, and I'll try to explain everything. I'm in a very difficult situation, and I'm asking you to listen to me. Just open the box, and you'll find my passport in there, my real passport. My name's Jack Boyd. The documents that say I'm Warren Nash, I bought them for $90 at the rail station. Please, just open the box, and I'll explain everything, please.
You say you were a cop, huh?
Yes. I was a cop. I was the chief of police, just like you. Look, it's a very long and complicated story, but I assure you this is all just a huge misunderstanding. And the fact that I've gone into hiding here, the fact that I'm here at all, it's an injustice that I want to correct. And I'm asking you to help me. Sheriff Reed, let's talk. I'm begging you. Sheriff Reed, let me...
Do you even know what you've been accused of, Mr. Boyd?
Let's just say I don't know if you know what happened in Freeburg last winter, but it had nothing to do with the law or justice. I was used.
You do understand that I have to report you to the feds, right, Mr. Boyd?
Sheriff Reed, if you do this, you just continue this. I believe that cops should help each other, so I just want to say... You seem like the kind of person
We've known each other for 5 minutes, Mr. Boyd. I doubt very much that I've made any impression on you at all. Whatever you've got yourself mixed up in, I hope that you find justice, if that's really what you want. But for now, all I know is this. You're a criminal, and they're looking for you.
Your folder. Your folder. That's a case file. Can I see it?
Excuse me?
I worked as a detective for years. Even when I was chief, I did half of my detective's work. If you're having trouble with the case, I'm sure I can help. Cops should help each other. My exact words, right?
You think that I'm...
Listen, Sheriff Reed, what do you have to lose? You're the head of this police department. You've got to think rationally. I'm not trying to teach you how to do your work. I'm just for a minute, forget about all that, this whole awkward situation, okay? Right? You have an unsolved murder, and there's someone standing right in front of you who's offering to help. Maybe I'm an imposter, and I can't actually do anything. Maybe I'll even turn out to be a lunatic, scatter the file around the cell and dance around like a wild monkey. But maybe, just maybe, I really am an experienced cop who can help you find your killer. Don't you want that? Don't you want to give me a chance since you've got nothing to lose? Don't you want a real criminal in prison, not some sorry victim of circumstance like me? That's police work. Catching the real criminals, right?
I guess I'm going crazy.
Look.
Lily, are you there? Lily!
Lily here. Come in.
Can you grab the box of flashbang grenades and get over here? There's no time to lose. Lily!
Copy. I'm on my way.
So?
I'm not seeing anything.
Lily, it's time.
Yes, just let me look at the plan.
Lily, we've got everything covered.
Gail, I need to take a look at the plan. Gail, the plan?
Lily, do you want to look at the plan or do you want to change the plan?
I need to see the plan before I decide whether I need to change it. Gail?
You should have taken him to Canaan right away. Yes, let's get him over here. Someone needs to go get Canan. Does anyone know Canan lives? Jesse, grab that blue bag over there. Bring it over here. I'll call him. Bring me that bag. I'll call Canan. The bag, Jesse.
Jesus, Jesse, we don't have time for that. Bring me that bag.
No, come on.
Lily, put pressure here. Press there and don't let him. Make it? You think he'll make it?
We need to put something under his head.
He's dead, Lily. Lily, he's dead. Gail's dead.
Now you can call Canaan.
What was his name? I mean the deceased officer. What's his name?
Gail Greenberg.
Were you close?
No, but... No. We went to school together.
Sheriff Reed,
Sheriff Reed. Ha! Sheriff Reed. If my dad could hear you say that, he'd died of laughter. He'd laugh like a madman, choke on his favorite meatballs even. Sheriff Reed. Call me Lily. My aunt lived in Freeburg. She sold flowers. Had her own store, a little shop. My mother and I used to visit during the summer. You have warm summers there. Warmer than here.
Anywhere's warmer than here.
So, what happened in Freeburg? Mr. Boyd?
That's a very... I'm sorry. Forgive me, Lily. I begged you for a chance to tell you everything, and now I don't know where to start.
You were slandered?
You could say that.
So you aren't guilty of anything?
I'm plenty guilty, but not what I've been accused of. I was just a fool. A blind fool.
You're right, Mr. Boyd.
I'm sorry?
The sheriff's job is to think rationally. I figured I might be a shit cop, but at least I can think rationally. Now I'm not so sure.
Lily, listen to me. You aren't guilty of anything. I've been a police chief going on 13 years, and I can't say that I never... Let's just say it's a difficult job. It gets complicated. And to put you in this position, it was, I just want to say
Don't
that...
be shy, Mr. Boyd. I don't make much of a sheriff. Is that what you wanted to say? Because I completely agree with you.
Lily, listen to me. I'm a policeman. Whatever position I'm in now, whatever this is, whatever my official status, I'm still a policeman. I'm a policeman and I know how to do this job, and I will help you. Cops should help each other. Isn't that what we were talking about earlier? Don't you agree with me?
What was it you said, Mr. Boyd? Maybe you're an imposter, maybe you're crazy, but maybe you... honestly, I don't even know if I...
Lily, why are you pointing that gun at me? Can I get out of this cage? Lily?
Yes, Mr. Boyd. Yes, you can get out of the cage.
You want me to... Well, I guess I'm asking. You want me to get to work? What is it you want me to do exactly?
You can get some sleep in the break room. It's over there to the left, the dark green door. I'll still be here in the morning, and in the morning we... Well, we'll figure this out. Tomorrow you can gather up your things, Mr. Boyd.
Yes, I just... this letter, I'd like to send it as soon as possible. It's for my children. It's important.
I can mail it for you. I don't mind. I've got a letter to mail myself.
Lily, I wanted
What?
to...
You want to know if I'm going to call the feds? No, I won't call the feds. Do I realize that means I'm breaking the law? Yeah, I know. Do I understand that you could make a run for it at any time? Yeah, I know that too.
I'll see you in the morning.
Any other questions?
So how long you been working undercover?
Since February.
So you're like our new sheriff now, huh?
Mr. Nash will partly take over management of the department. Some of you will now be his subordinates. Bad news, Cliff. I'm still the sheriff. Well, if you understand everything and there's no more questions, then let's...
Wait, I have a question. When are we going to take that thing down?
I meant questions for Mr. Nash.
Then I have a question for Mr. Nash. Mr. Nash, when are we going to take that thing down?
When are we taking that thing down?
We're not taking it down.
Sorry, bud. Looks like it's staying up.
That's enough. Everybody back to work. It was Sheriff Wells who hung that tapestry here. He said he made me his first deputy because I was the only one who understood what it says.
Well, now there's two of us. Did I miss something?
No, I just want to move into the office where you were working yesterday.
So you're moving into a smaller office?
I'm moving where I'm more comfortable. That's the office I used to share with Gail. It's probably too big for me, but it'll be just right for you.
Can I help?
No, I don't like people pawing my stuff. You could get a bite to eat. I'll be finished in like 20 minutes. I can handle this. At least I can handle this.
Okay, then I'll go down to the dining hall then. Call me if you need me.
Ah, Mr. Nash. Glad we have a chance to get acquainted again. This time under better circumstances, huh? Our first meeting didn't go so smooth. You really must forgive me, Mr. Nash, for being so rude to you. It was rude of me to arrest you. You gotta admit, you don't really look like an undercover cop. Am I right, guys? But I didn't hit you too hard. I tried to be delicate with elderly gentlemen. I'm not some kind of monster. I didn't mean to offend anyone. You really shouldn't be offended. We're all grown-ups here. Why be offended? Why are you offended, Mr. Nash? I gotta say, I expect more from a senior police officer. Well, I don't know. More professionalism, you know? You seem like the kind of guy who sits behind a desk doing paperwork. Am I right, Mr. Nash?
That the bathroom?
Weren't you gonna drink your coffee, Mr. Nash? You're not incontinent, are you? Mr. Nash, do you have a problem? Is it an age thing, or did I just hit you too hard in the kidneys? If that's the problem, then I apologize, Mr. Nash. I tried not to hit any vital organs. Ah!
Mr. Nash, could you come over here for a second? We need to talk. Dr. Kanayan just... Hold on! 1 second. Tip, what the hell? What are you trying to do? Don't you remember what happened to Vic? You want that thing to explode in your hands? You want to lose your fingers? Put it back right now. Until you get some new cartridges, no one touches the shotguns. We agree.
Aw, come on. I'm not gonna shoot it. I just wanted to use it to scare old Kleiner. Want to see that stubborn idiot shit himself. Yeah, he's probably going around in diapers. You seen that fossil recently? You don't think...
I am not listening. Just put that thing back.
Damn it, Lily. Stop acting like you're everybody's mother.
I'll stop playing mother when you idiots stop acting like children.
Yeah, thanks a bundle. You won't be talking like that after I...
What's your name, son?
Tip Rami, sir.
Why do you need a shotgun, Tip Rami?
To frighten an old man named Herman Kleinert, sir. He's a local cobbler. The thing is, sir, the old man's grandson, Matthias Kleinert, recently raped a schoolteacher, and now no one knows where he is. I'm sure, sir, I mean everyone is sure, that old Kleinert is hiding his grandson somewhere. We tried talking to him, but it got us nowhere. To be honest, sir, the grumpy old maniac just stood in his door waving his gun, so talking just isn't going to work. I want to squeeze the old dirtbag, sir. Squeeze him good and get him to talk.
Kleinert's gun shoots salt.
Salt?
That's right, sir. Salt. Well, what's the difference? I'm not saying he was going to shoot me. I just wanted to scare the old goat, you know? It's not like I'm going to shoot him. Probably.
When you joined the sheriff's department, they gave you a gun, right?
Of course, sir. But who's scared of a tiny little pea shooter? Everybody in Sharpwood has a gun.
What else did they give you?
I'm sorry, sir?
When you entered service, what else did they give you?
I was issued a uniform, sir.
What else?
A radio?
And that's it?
And a knife.
This knife?
That's correct, sir.
Big, huh?
I guess so, sir.
What do you think, son? Think you could scare somebody with your big knife?
I don't know, sir.
Well, think about it. Here you have a big shiny piece of cold steel, nice and sharp, and you're holding it right to some bastard's neck. You bring it so close that one careless movement and you'll open an artery. But let's say you haven't lived such a clean life. You like to drink, so your hands are a little shaky. They shake all the time. If not today, then maybe tomorrow you'll slice someone open by accident. You think that's scary enough, son?
Yes, sir. It's very scary, sir.
Well, then what do you need a shotgun for, son?
I'll put it back, sir. I'll put it back right now.
Well, what are you waiting for? I have work to do. Can I go?
Yes, I just wanted to... come to my office in the evening before you go home, okay?
Okay. So, you want to talk?
Yeah, well, before I... Well, thanks for helping me this morning with Chip. Sometimes he just... Anyway, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. It's very serious. I mean it. It's serious. As far as I understand, yesterday you had some kind of altercation with Charlie Fletcher. Dr. Kanahan called me and... Well, Fletcher's going to be okay in a couple of days. It was nothing serious. But I don't want this happening again, all right?
I can't promise you that.
I don't understand.
I said that I can't promise you that nothing like that'll happen again.
Listen, Jack, I don't like Fletcher either.
It's not Fletcher. I will treat my subordinates as I see fit. That's what I mean.
But Jack, there are boundaries. I, as the sheriff, I draw those boundaries, okay? I respect your experience, I do, and I just want to say there are rules that must be respected, and I believe that these rules are an integral part. You know, I believe we understood each other, and there won't be any more problems, right?
Why am I here?
I'm sorry?
Why am I here?
Well, because I asked you to come and talk, and I...
No, not here in your office, but in general. Here. What am I doing here? Why am I here, Lily?
Because you got into a difficult situation, and now...
I'm helping you steer the department. Look, I could run. I might go to jail, but I'm here. Why am I here, Lily?
We could call it a mutually beneficial deal because...
Why, Lily? It's a simple question, and the answer is also simple. Why am I here?
Jack, I don't know what you...
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Some bearded old man with fake documents strikes up a conversation with you, and suddenly he's...
Jack, please, you know how much this...
Becoming the sheriff's right hand. Actually doing all the work of the sheriff. How does that happen, Lily? Come on, tell me.
Jack, I'm begging you.
The answer is already in your head. I just want you to say it, Lily. Say it out loud. Why am I here?
I'm begging you.
Say it.
Let's just...
Why am I here?
Because I'm a shit cop, right? I'm a shit cop. I can't do anything. Shit cop, shit cop, shit cop. Without you here to help, it would be the end. You wanted me to say that. Is that what you wanted? Are you satisfied now?
I'm very satisfied, Lily.
Thank you again for your time, Mr. Kogan. And thanks for your patience. Next Thursday we'll have another meeting, by which time I will have some new questions for you. If you remember something new before our next meeting, not just about Jack Boyd, but about your work in the police department as a whole, then just let me know. If you change your work schedule, let me know. If you need to leave Freeburg for some reason, well, you understand. Let me know.
Don't look at me, Mr. Kogan. I don't want to be here any more than you do. If it was up to me, neither one of us
Thank
would
you
have
again,
to.
Mr. Kogan. You are free to go.
Take it easy on these people, Lana. They don't have to.
I'm just doing my job, Wilton. It's your job too, remember? Please invite Miss Emma Weinstein in.
Emma Weinstein? Again? What is this already, her 6th?
Just the 4th.
And you're hoping to learn something new. As far as I recall, she just keeps saying the same thing.
I will definitely learn something new, Wilton. Even if she keeps saying the same thing. Even the fact that she always repeats all the answers word for word. That's already very important information just by itself.
Well, yes, for you. Because the whole world around you is very important information.
Good morning, Miss Weinstein. I'll ask you some questions, some of them new, others I've already asked you during previous interviews. But I hope that you'll be kind enough to...
You can ask me any questions, Miss Berman. I'll answer you. For the 2nd time, the 5th, the 10th, as long as it takes. You know that.
Then let's not waste any time.
Do you see him, Pedro? Has he already ordered a drink? What? What chihuahua? Are you sure you're looking at the right guy? Do you see a basket of strawberries? Pedro, not everything is important. It doesn't matter how he's dressed. A basket of strawberries. Do you see it? Has he already started eating the strawberries? All right, Pedro. Don't worry about that. If he's eating strawberries from a basket, then he's the one we need, no doubt. Just wait until he's eaten all the strawberries and then approach him, right? Right, Pedro, right. I'll be waiting for your call. Just stick to the plan, all right? Pedro?
It's me.
Jack. Yeah, I was sure you must be dead.
Look, Fry, I know that
I hear there's a federal agent who's interested in you. He's already reached Millington. From there, I think he'll be heading north. What do you think, Jack? Has he picked up your trail?
Fry, let's just talk.
Jack, how happy he'll be to find out you're still alive. A young agent, let's call him Chris, dreaming of a brilliant career. He wants to prove to his alcoholic father that he's made something of his life. And the girl, let's call her Tanya. She's recently left him. So he'd just love to play the hero all over the front page and then just rub her nose in it. And Chris has an arrogant colleague, too. Let's call him Tommy, who's always laughing at him. Wait, you know what, Jack? I think Tommy's fucking Tanya. I mean, this whole time. How could I have missed it? Tommy's fucking Tanya, and worse, the alcoholic father is banging Tanya too. I mean, they're all fucking around over there. And just think about poor old Chris.
Fry, let's just...
And by the way, did I mention that Chris has a bit of a stutter? Naturally, that meant problems at school. And not just at school, but at the academy, too. Yeah, he was nearly kicked out of the academy twice, even though his marks were brilliant. Imagine, they were ready to kick the guy out just because he stutters a little. No, nobody wants to have anything to do with him. You know what that's like, Jack, huh? And suddenly, our stutterer Chris, less than 6 months at the Bureau, he catches a fugitive off the federal wanted list. And not just anyone, but Jack Boyd, the king of corruption. I mean, the symbol of our whole society's disintegration. Al Capone in a police cap. Nobody else could do it. But there's just something about Chris, you know, Jack?
Good Lord, Fry, it's just...
Now, Tanya wants to fuck him, and the prom queen Sharon wants to fuck him, and even Susie the ballerina, who turned him down on 3 separate occasions because she didn't want to have anything to do with the fucking stutterer. Well, now Susie is showing off her pirouettes in his bedroom. And it's all thanks to you, Jack. All thanks to the fact that you couldn't stick to our simple arrangement and answer the fucking phone when I called.
I couldn't pick up the phone because at the moment when you called, the phone was literally being shot at, and then
You're one lucky bastard, Jack. I mean, you are lucky that I have such a cold, black heart, completely incapable of compassion. Without batting an eyelid, I will leave that poor stutterer Chris with nothing. I'll make a couple of calls, and he'll turn right around on that road he's on to Sharpwood and return to his miserable life of the lonely loser. He's just not the right man for Tanya. I mean, some people just aren't made for each other, you know. True, you'll have to pay me twice as much.
Twice? 20,000? But I only just...
That's not the worst of it, Jack. You not only have to pay me twice as much, but you'll have to do it 4 times as often. 20,000 a week. I hope whatever mess you got yourself in, you still got all your fingers, or at least enough of them to pull out a bank transfer. How long until the next payment, huh? 4 days?
Come on. Let's talk
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. I have another call. I'm guessing that Mr. Cervantes just finished eating his strawberries.
His what? Strawberries? Listen, Fry, I'm just asking you... Fuck.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
It's me.
I'm listening, Lily.
I decided that I wanted to talk about the woman.
What woman?
About the woman with the coins.
Lily, do you realize that you're calling me in the middle of the night?
It was wrong, Jack, what you did. I'm not trying to exaggerate. It's not the worst thing you could... I don't want to compare it with... I want to tell you that I think it was wrong, and I think that you yourself understand that it was wrong. Am I wrong?
Lily, go to sleep.
Jack, just want to make sure that we're seeing eye to eye on this. That we're on the same team, you know? It's important to me.
For a cop, nothing's more important than a good night's sleep. You can trust me on that.
It seems I'm more like a nanny than a cop.
And I'm all cop. Warren Nash.
It's me, Jack. I have a strange question for you. How would you say your work is going?
What are you talking about?
I don't mean in general, just today. The work you did today, are you pleased with what you did?
What kind of question is that?
I'm talking about...
I need to sleep, Lily.
Jack, I'm not trying to...
Do you live here, old man?
Go home, Mr. Boyd.
Who am I talking to?
My name is Colonel Liam Henderson, but as you can see, we'll have to do this some other time.
How do you know my name?
I think there are only two of them, but best be safe. Check the area and tell Mark to shut off that engine. Someone will have to stand watch here until morning.
Hey, I'm talking to you.
Go home, Mr. Boyd. Lock the door. Stay away from the windows. Don't come out till morning. We'll talk another time.
Time for hot chocolate. Don't pay any attention to me. I'll evaporate in a second.
Who are you?
I'm Sean Moreno, secretary, and dispatcher, office manager, sometimes even the plumber. I have a very wide range of responsibilities. It's easier to say what I don't do.
What, and delivering hot chocolate to the offices? Is that one of your duties?
No. Well, not usually. But I thought that this morning you might need a big mug of something warm. It's easy to catch cold from lying down in the snow at night. And we don't need you catching cold, right? No, that was one cold night. No, if you ask me, all nights are cold.
What are you talking about?
Here, hot chocolate with maple syrup, red pepper, and herbs. I should think I can manage to make this drink. You can't survive in Sharpwood without it. But I won't give you the exact recipe. Don't even ask. I didn't know what kind of cupcakes you like, so I brought a few. There's more chocolate in this one, less in this one, and there's no chocolate at all in this one. But there's little nuts. Very tasty, but they get stuck in your teeth, so be careful. Oh, yes, and your revolver. I cleaned it up. Shines like new. If you need any bullets for it, Mr. Boyd, just...
Who are you?
Like I said, Mr. Boyd, I have a wide range of responsibilities.
Secretary, dispatcher, manager, plumber, and Colonel Henderson's bitch? That about right, you fuck? That about it for your responsibilities? Think you can come into my office like that and call me Mr. Boyd, you fucking piece of shit?
There aren't any bullets in it, Mr. Boyd.
Oh, well, you want to see what I can do to you with a pistol with no ammo, you fuck? I'm a man of many talents, just like you.
I have no doubt, Mr. Boyd. Actually, I'm a big fan of your talents. You're a legend, Mr. Boyd. I look up to you.
What are you going on about, you dirtbag?
It's what you did in Freeburg. The plans, the whole operation.
The story about the antique weapons, the Japanese businessman's money, the park construction project. I can't pick a favorite. Well, it's probably that case with the De Vroom painting. Oh, that was top class. You're the only man who's ever turned corruption into art. If someone were making a film about you, Mr. Boyd, I would...
Listen to me carefully, secretary, dispatcher, manager, plumber. I don't know what you read here in the newspapers, and I've got no idea what your boss could be dreaming, but you got me wrong, okay? I was a scapegoat. I once let motherfuckers like you manipulate me, but I learned my lesson. So if you're gonna threaten me, you better just get it over with.
No one's threatening you, Mr. Boyd. It's quite the contrary. Once you get to know Colonel Henderson better, you'll see you have nothing to fear. Like I said, I appreciate your talents, and Colonel Henderson appreciates them too, believe me. No, it's a lucky thing you arrived in Sharpwood when you did.
The key you used to open my office. Leave it and go.
You do know that I have copies, right? I could make 100 more.
I said leave the key and go. If I see you in my office again, you will drown in a mug of hot chocolate. I promise you that.
You have nothing to fear, Mr. Boyd. You're safe here.
I'd like to see Sheriff Lily Reed.
Why do you need Sheriff Reed, Mr.
Carter. Captain Britt Carter. That's why the day when you, Captain Carter, step through the threshold of our department will not only be an important day for the whole of Sharpwood, but also a very happy day for me personally. Well, it seems I'm here to make Sheriff Reed very happy, son.
Hey, I told you to stay away from my office.
It looks like we've got a problem here.
And I need something that will help with these headaches. I get migraines, you know. Or is this a migraine or is it just a headache? It's not the same thing, you know. They're different things and they need different medicines. The cure for one is not the cure for the other, you know. And if something isn't curing you, it's killing you. The medicine for headaches won't help with migraines. Dr. Kanayan explained the difference to me, but I
Okay, do you need an aspirin?
No, it's a different one.
Acetaminophen?
No, the one with the letter B.
Well, let's just write that down.
We need to talk. Now.
Excuse me, Mr. Nash, but right now I'm...
Hey, can't you see? There's a line.
What's going on here?
I just listen to the needs of our townspeople every week. I try to help them get access to food and drugs that aren't easy to come by in Sharpwood. I don't want them going to the smugglers, you know?
Get back to the end of the line.
Quiet. I work here. Lily, there's a man
You work here? Well, then, I'll tell you, boy, the floor in the corridor I walked across over there is the dirtiest floor I've ever seen in my life. And if my taxes are going to...
I'm not the janitor. I'm a cop.
A cop? Perfect. So you have to solve my problem with the rats.
I don't... Lily, listen. There's a man named Carter waiting for us in my office.
Carter? Wait, Captain Britt Carter?
Yes, that's him. Would you,
Tip. Write down all the medications Mr. Moses needs, then do the same for the others. Get everything down in detail. Oh, forget about your notebook. Take mine. Start a new page for each person. Got it?
there's still one thing I just can't understand, my dear. Why did you write me this letter? If you already have this...
Mr. Nash appeared he appeared unexpectedly. He worked undercover for a while, and he was sent for by... This is an operation. It's all part of a big operation, some kind of big operation. I myself don't know all the details, but I think Mr. Nash himself can tell you everything
Oh, I have no doubt that Mr. Nash will tell us everything. He'll tell us how he was assigned to this operation. He'll tell us how he was sent his orders on a beautiful piece of paper with a seal and a signature. He'll tell us how he had to pack up everything in his big city apartment, and how carefully he packed his expensive trousers in his expensive suitcase. Oh, how he had to grow a beard to blend in. Yeah, he'll tell us all about his brilliant career. Oh, you must have been an excellent student at the academy, Mr. Nash. Or perhaps you think you already know everything there is to know. But there's something you don't know, Mr. Nash. It's something very important. A city like Sharpwood can't be saved by some upstart careerists and bureaucrats from central administration. A city like Sharpwood can only be saved by its people. People who were born here, who grew up here. These are our demons, Mr. Nash, and we have to deal with them ourselves. You were sent here by the chiefs in the suits, while I, prodigal son of Sharpwood, was returned here by the Lord himself.
Oh, so in your opinion, Sharpwood will be saved by a lame soldier with no police experience holding his Bible at the ready?
I will not take offense to your disrespectful remarks, Mr. Nash, because I myself was once just a stupid fool. I did not understand that God saved me in the war. I did not understand that it was He who helped me survive after what happened to me after the war. But now I understand. Now I see. Now I am ready, and have no doubt, Mr. Nash, I have come not with a shield, but with a sword.
Well, then prove it. Work here for a week and show us what you can do.
All right, I already said we're not making this into a stupid game. Mr. Nash, you've done an excellent job, but you have to agree that
this isn't a game.
This is a test. And it's a test that I humbly accept, my dear Lily. I have endured many, passed them all with dignity, and I will endure this one too.
Oh, of course. You'll love it.
Excellent. Just fine. Now we have 2 more stubborn boys in the department.
Mr. Boyd, finally. I was starting to wonder if you were going to spend the night.
Shut your mouth.
Mr. Boyd, listen, I understand you don't talk much. I get it. After all, you would never have... Well, you wouldn't have been able to do what you've done if you were a chatterbox. Yeah? But I'm not asking you for a big speech. I'm not asking you to give me a master class in corruption. No, nothing like that. I'm only asking for one small story about the DeVroom painting. The newspapers never gave out too many details since the investigation was ongoing. But what's the difference now? What's left to hide? The painting couldn't be found, right? You made extra sure that it couldn't be found. Well, let's drink a beer sometime. Not today, no, tomorrow, or the day after, or the day after tomorrow. Just whatever's good for you. You see, I'm really interested in this. How did you pick that job? I mean, what did you want with that picture? I mean, that one in particular. It's a pretty specific choice, you know? It's a controversial artist. The critics don't agree. I've never heard of corrupt officials stealing paintings. They all take bribes, just bundles of money in paper bags, you know.
Of course, I'm not comparing you to those ordinary rotten geezers. Not at all. I just wanted to say that even though I don't know all the details, I see that you've got your own style. Whether you realize it or not, that's why the press called you the Caesar of corruption. And you can find lots of kings of corruption in the newspapers. There's a new one every month, but I've never seen a Caesar. Because Caesar, that's not about the scale, but the style. Style is everything, right?
Please, Mr. Boyd.
Why on earth should I get into the car with a stranger?
Given your history, I'd imagine that you often had to get into a car with strangers. Back in Freeburg.
Freeburg is different.
Is it really so different?
Absolutely.
Friendlier?
Warmer.
Well, that's not saying much. Anywhere is warmer than here.
How?
Excuse me?
How did you know who I was?
How many ads were there?
Ads?
Well, I'd be willing to bet that when you came here, you went looking for housing in the newspaper ads. How many ads did you look at?
I don't know. Maybe a dozen.
But you chose this house. Why?
Because it stands away from everything.
Well, that's a reasonable choice. Unfortunately, the neckties choose their houses by the exact same principle. They stash their goods in isolated houses until they can find a big buyer, but they don't settle into the house. They let someone else rent it. It's safer that way.
Look, I'm not interested in how these neckties do business. I just want to know how they found out my real name.
I'm not a big fan of drug dealers, Mr. Boyd, but I have to give them their due. Many of them are amazingly smart, much smarter than your average drug dealer, you know. And the man who was appointed to watch your house, Arthur Sherman, well, it turns out he's quite the brain. He even went to college. Can you imagine? Arthur is so clever that when he realized that you're Jack Boyd, he didn't report it to his bosses. You see, the Ties are a wandering gang. Yesterday they worked in Ripton, today they're here, tomorrow they'll be somewhere else. They just shoot you to be safe, and that would be the end of it. But Arthur is clever, and he knew how valuable the information was, so he did the clever thing and brought it to me.
But how did he know who I was? How exactly?
Ask him yourself when you get the chance. Oh, looks like we've arrived. Mr. Boyd, are you coming?
Are you completely out of your mind? I'm a wanted man. I shouldn't be showing my face in public, even if it is old and shaggy.
Come on, Mr. Boyd. There's only drunk pigs and sweaty strippers in there. Nobody'll even look at you. Don't you want to drink a mug of draft beer for the first time in months and burp loud enough that everyone hears? Aren't you tired of hiding? Don't you just want to be an ordinary person?
You saw where I live. Now I want to see where you live. Don't you think that's fair?
Okay, you win. But I'll never believe that you don't miss letting loose.
That's not the only thing I miss. Not the only thing, and not the main thing.
I understand. Well, here's where we live.
What? We can't go inside?
Well, I didn't go into your house. I stood 100 yards away. Now we're even. Don't you think that's fair?
Arthur Sherman. I want to talk to him.
Mick, bring Sherman here. I'm sure he must still be awake. Sean told me about this Captain Britt Carter of yours. Now, if you want,
It won't be a problem.
You sure?
I can manage.
If you have any difficulties, just let me know. I could, well...
And I thought you were a smuggler, not a butcher.
I don't like the word smuggler.
Then maybe you shouldn't smuggle.
Well, I'll put it this way. I don't like what you mean by the word smuggler. You must be right. Freeburg and Sharpwood are very different. What kind of goods came through Freeburg? Automatic weapons, heroin, people? I'll be honest with you, I can't brag that I never had to trade in the first, second, or third, but my most popular product is canned soup. Mushroom soup comes in a little red jar. Now this is coming from a man who spent over 30 years eating a tasteless soldier's rations and not complaining. And I can assure you that this soup is the most disgusting meal in the world. When you pop open the jar with a can opener, this smell immediately bolts up your nose. The smell of despair, you know? It's impossible to suck down this vomit without thinking for even a second that your life is going nowhere. Sharpwood kids, when they grow up and leave this place for the rest of their lives, they'll always shudder when they remember this awful soup. But only the lucky ones, the few who manage to get out. The rest will live here for the rest of their days, eating smelly soup and then feeding it to their own children. Because without 12-cent soup, they'd all die. I give them this life, with the smell of despair. Bitter, but life. I don't know what cruel word to call what I'm doing, but I'm definitely not a smuggler. And I want that... There's your college boy, Mr. Boyd.
Give me a cigarette. Still alive, Mr. Boyd. Oh, wow.
How did you know who I was?
Were you really hiding all that well? You hitchhiked on your way to Sharpwood. Well, not to Sharpwood, of course, but to Big Rift. And from there you walked on foot, but before Big Rift, a red-haired guy named Locke drove you. Picked you up at a bus stop 70 miles down the highway. Buses from Garensburg pass that stop every 6 days. In Garensburg, you spent 2 nights at the Stone Woodpecker Hotel. I called down there and had a nice chat with Mrs. Hopper, who...
Just stop! So you're really that clever, Arthur Sherman? Proud of your little investigation?
If I'd known this investigation would turn me into a hostage to rednecks playing toy soldiers, I wouldn't have stuck my nose in your business, Mr. Boyd.
Hostage?
Arthur can't leave the barracks. It's for his own safety. In addition, he likes to live by military regulations. Isn't that right, Arthur?
This shit you're pulling here isn't military order. It's the middle of the night, but everyone's awake.
He's right, Mr. Boyd. It's high time for bed.
Hello?
It's me. Are you awake?
What do you think?
Listen, I talked to Shapiro about Plunkett's situation. The truth is bad. He might not even make it to the end of the month. I don't know what he did wrong, but the dicks from the mayor's office don't even want to meet with him. But tomorrow, one of them will be considering your request. At least Avi Carlos has to be there. Do you know what that means?
I'm not... Come on, Reeves.
Plunkett needs to show off, to show them that he has everything under control. He'll need to puff himself up like a tough leader, the only thing holding the prosecutor's office together, which means you're the ideal target for him to show them what a tough boss he is, you see? To put it simply, whatever happens tomorrow, just nod and don't say anything except yes, sir, and hopefully the blowback won't get out of hand. Lana? Are you still there?
You'd really like that, right? For me to always say, yes, sir, and that's it?
Lana, what are you talking about? Look, I am trying to, well, sort of like trying to save you. Don't you get it?
Good night, Reeves.
Before we begin, Miss Berman, I should note that Mr. A.B. Carlos and Mr. Ronald Atticus, representing the city administration, have been good enough to join us. And Judge Hawkins has also kindly agreed to attend. The rest of these gentlemen, I believe you already are familiar with.
Thank you, Mr. Plunkett. I'd like to start with...
If you will allow me, Miss Berman, I will begin. I'm still in charge, aren't I?
Yes, Mr. Plunkett. I didn't mean to...
I would like you to answer a few background questions that will help us understand your investigation into the case of Jack Boyd.
Of course, but I just don't...
What's so interesting about him?
Sir, you ask me why I want to catch Jack Boyd? In my opinion, it's obvious that...
No, Miss Berman, I did not ask you why you want to catch him. I asked why you're interested in him.
Sir, I'm not sure I understand the question.
Oh, well, in that case, allow me to phrase the question more precisely. You like Jack Boyd because with him you don't feel lonely, as you said in a telephone conversation on September 19th of last year. Or maybe because you consider him energetic and full of strength, as you said on another call 4 weeks later. The whole point is that...
Mr. Plunkett, sir, before you go on, I think it must be said that...
You know, Miss Berman, I am a man of conservative upbringing. I always imagine there are certain obligatory rituals and relationships between men and women. Going to the movies, meeting at the cafe, walking in the moonlight. But I see that's just boilerplate romance compared with these touching transcripts. You've quite convinced me that even over the phone, you can create a very close bond with someone. So close, in your case, that it creates an obvious conflict of interest. And although your connection with Mr. Boyd didn't end under the best of circumstances, I don't think I need to explain how grossly you violated professional ethics, and even, perhaps, the law.
Sir, I'm not... How did you...
Isn't this the work of the prosecutor, Miss Berman, to know a little more than the others know? Information is our weapon, haven't you heard? I'm sure everyone in this room will agree. Do you think I would have reached my post if I couldn't gather information and use it at the right time and place? Everyone here understands perfectly what I'm talking about, I assure you. And I have little doubt that you understand as well, Miss Berman. Now, going against a person with information is like going against yourself. A young lady with ambitions simply cannot help but learn these common truths.
Mr. Plunkett, there's something...
But even truisms are sometimes worth remembering, are they not?
If you'll just let me explain...
I believe we're finished here, Miss Berman. You are suspended from all current duties. Your future will be decided by the disciplinary committee at a special meeting on February 2nd. Meanwhile, you're free to go. We don't need to detain our guests any further. I think they've heard everything they need to hear.
Damn. Forgive me, Captain Carter, but this is important.
Don't worry, honey. It's okay. I haven't had time to fall asleep yet. You came to wish me luck?
I have leads on a number of major cases that I wanted, that I've dreamed of doing. Someone's selling old weapons that they're bringing in from Ripton. Someone else is trying to... Look, it doesn't matter. You can read it all right here. The point is that we've got a lot of evidence against some small-time criminals, relatively small time, of course, but I wanted to use them to get to bigger fish.
Lily, there's only one day left. I don't have any time to get to the big fish.
And you don't need to. Just arrest all of these people. Arrest them and win.
Your father would have laughed if he could hear this, but I'm a gentleman, my dear.
Just win the stupid competition, Captain Carter.
What? I forgot to give you your parking pass?
I have my pass.
Didn't Jesus tell you not to drink?
That's right. I don't drink. I already went through that ordeal, but you... no. Well, it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Oh, I'm not ashamed. You can be sure of that.
You know, it's hard to handle some things alone, and sometimes help comes from somewhere you wouldn't expect.
You can say that again.
When I needed help, it was an old man named Tarek Palm, former pastor. They say he was kicked out of the church because he went crazy. I don't know the whole story. Maybe he lost his mind, but he sure didn't lose his instincts. He immediately saw the two things that were ruining my life: lies and stubbornness. So he locked me in the basement.
Lost his mind? Must have been a smart guy.
He locked me up in the basement with the Bible, the Koran, and the Torah. And he told me that he didn't care what I was going to believe, but every righteous man, whatever he believed, had to go through these 3 steps. And the first step is when you choose principles over honesty. And the second step is when you choose honesty over principles. And the third is when you don't need to choose at all, because honesty is your only principle. Now, old man Palm said that he would bring me water every morning and ask, "What stage are you on, son?" 3 weeks later, I answered, "On the 3rd, Father." And he let me go. I was a changed man, but I lied about the 3rd stage. I was still stuck on the 2nd one.
Well, I guess that makes you a cheat. And I'm not going to play cards with you. Don't even ask.
The competition between us, maybe it was stupid, but...
It was only stupid when you won it.
I cheated, Jack. I won because Lily helped me. Brought me a pile of papers with lots of leads, and somehow this one was stuck in with the other papers. Of course, I was going to phone it in right then and there, but then I thought, what will happen if I call? The feds will arrest you. But what then? Would that be the end of it? No, of course not. There'll be reporters, there'll be some kind of investigation, and everyone will be on the hook. Lily, the other cops, our ordinary townspeople, everyone. It's hard to imagine how this would hit our town. Jack, I'm sure you understand. Lily, he wanted me to take things over gradually, so we could work together for a few days and keep everything calm, right? But you could keep things even calmer. You can leave early in the morning. You can disappear, and no one else in Sharpwood will ever hear from you. It'll be like you were never here. Like you got off the bus, you took one breath of icy air, and immediately decided you needed to get out of here. I mean, after all, who would hide from justice in a freezer? Don't be ashamed, Jack. Drink up. You haven't got through this yet. I have.
I need to talk to Liam Henderson. I know, but it's important. Yes, I'll hold.
How, Jack? How could I let this happen? Who could have done this?
Captain Carter caught a bunch of scumbags lately. And he made a lot of enemies. Any one of those cocksuckers could have decided
Anyone could. Anyone could. Anyone could have. But someone did. Anyone could, but someone decided. How did I let this happen?
We will try to find
Of course we'll try, Jack. Of course we'll try.
the one who did this will be punished. I have no doubt.
You have no doubt. Of course you have no doubt. The person who did this has to be punished. What else could happen?
Lily, we did everything we could. You did everything you could.
Of course. Even more. I did more. More than necessary. More than this fucking town can take.
Did something happen?
I saw the file. Captain Carter's murder. So that's how it was.
Everything points to this, Lily. Everything points to this, and we have no reason to doubt that...
You've no reason to doubt. I have no reason to doubt. You're a cop, a very experienced cop. Much more experienced than I am. You have captured hundreds of criminals. You are a professional. You conduct an investigation. You've assembled all the facts. You wrote a report. You did a great job. You did a great job. You did everything right. What is there to doubt?
Tell me, Victor, tell me honestly, are you a human being or a robot? Huh? Right? Or are you sure? Have you checked? Because it seems to me you have a set of programmed commands instead of brains in your head. Ever consider showing a little bit of flexibility? Just a little bit, huh? Ever consider that selling butter and selling gasoline isn't the same thing? Well, listen. Listen to me, Victor. Listen to me a second before your tiny electrical brains run out of batteries. When you sell him butter, you sell him a delicious breakfast. A person can live without a delicious breakfast. Yes, most people in this fucking town haven't even heard of a delicious breakfast. When you sell him butter, he's in a position to bargain. Because if he doesn't have butter, he'll smear his toast with clay, and by God, I swear he will eat it with no less pleasure. But when you sell him gasoline, Victor, when you sell him gasoline, you sell him his business. You sell him the entire meaning of his existence. Because, Victor, if he doesn't have gasoline, he'll have to shut down his gas station. And if he closes his gas station, he won't have butter or toast on the table. And in fact, he won't even have a fucking table, because his creditors will take away his whole fucking house. And a man needs a fucking house so that he can have a place to put his fucking table. You got the logic, right? Now see if you can digest it with your fucking electrodes or whatever you usually think with, and call me back when you come to an agreement on the price. Ah, you're already here. I'm sorry, Jack. It's a busy time of year. I gotta sit by the phone all day. I can call you Jack, right? Why am I asking? I'm already calling you Jack. Let's sit down. We could go to the bar, by the way. I'm waiting for a call, but I could...
It's fine here.
You sure? Well, as you like. That's what I love about Sharpwood. Even if I forget to put the beer in the refrigerator, it'll still be cold. Here, you can help yourself. Doesn't look like beer, does it?
Well, what is it? The infamous smelly soup?
You should try it. Go on. Try it. Don't be squeamish. Half of Sharpwood eats that soup every day. No one's dead yet. Not from the soup, anyway.
Now I see. Now I see why you'd say that anyone who lives on this soup would try to get out of here.
Well, yes, but most of them stay. What do you think keeps them here?
Family? Friends?
Friends? But there's nothing easier than making friends. When did you arrive in Sharpwood? About 10 weeks ago? Or was it 8? And look, you're already surrounded by friends. No, it's not friends. It's the enemies. Ask anyone in the city. Ask a poor man. Ask a rich man. Of course, if you can find a rich man. They all have them. Every one of them has a neighbor they can't stand. Well, how can you leave Sharpwood and allow your enemy to go on without you? So he could plant a cherry tree in your backyard? So he, not you, could buy drugs on discount? So he could grab a nice plot of land in the cemetery? No one can allow this. The enemy must be exhausted if it takes you your whole life. With the enemy, you need to fight to the last. Once you have an enemy, you're doomed. You can't think straight. Old Sheriff Wells was doomed. He couldn't stand drug dealers. I myself don't care for them, but Wells didn't count them as people at all. Despised them more than murderers and rapists. And as soon as those fucking neckties appeared in the city, he knew right away that they were his enemies. Enemies which he must overcome, you see? And even if by some miracle he succeeded, what next? What other enemies would he have invented? And the performance we arranged for him that night? He had no reason to believe that there were ties hiding in that house. But one phone call, from this phone here, by the way, and he rushes off into the night to God knows where. You know what happened next. He threw himself into a hail of bullets. Got 2 young cops killed, too, though they had absolutely nothing to do with it. Sheriff Wells invented his enemies, and he paid for them dearly.
So the policeman had to pay for doing police work.
What? Jack, come on. I know we need the police. Of course we need them. There was a case here recently, a month before you got here, maybe less. A fellow named Rocco, he was a butcher here. His old mother Bertha went missing. And Bertha had either Alzheimer's or old age dementia, or is it the same thing? Anyway, poor Bertha always forgot everything. Couldn't even recognize Rocco half the time. And then suddenly she disappeared somewhere. So, what did our Rocco decide? Our Rocco decided that his mother was kidnapped by Eves Menke, another local butcher, his competitor, so to speak. No, just think, a man finds his mother missing, his old sick mother who can't remember her way to the toilet, and the first idea that comes into his head, his competitor kidnapped her. He watched too many movies, I guess. So what did Rocco do? Rocco picked up the hammer, went to Eves Menke's house, cracked open his skull, then broke his brother's skull, then broke his father's skull, then went down to their basement shouting, "Mom, I've come to save you!" And the basement was empty. Of course it's fucking empty. And there he is, standing there. Goes back home, covered in blood, hammer in hand, and his mother is there, sitting in her armchair, quietly knitting. Walked around in the woods all day, then came back home. Doesn't even remember a thing about it. Now Rocco will be in prison for the rest of his life. But if he just called the police, if the cops had combed the forest looking for poor Bertha, nothing would have happened. So of course we need the police. Never imagine, Jack, that I think the police is my enemy. I don't invent enemies for myself. I won't repeat the old sheriff's mistakes, unlike the new sheriff.
What, you arranging a special performance for her too?
I could, of course, but what happens after that? Marino says that after Gail Greenberg's death, there's no first deputy in the department. So if the sheriff suddenly dies, anyone might take her place. And I do not need anyone. I need you.
I'm sorry?
You're working in the sheriff's department, unofficially, right? I think it's time to formalize your status. First deputy sheriff. It's a good start, huh?
Why would Lily formally appoint me as first deputy?
You're not listening to me at all, Jack. Lily invented an enemy for herself and will do anything if it means she can get even with her enemy. Believe me, run the ties out of Sharpwood and you'll get your post. She wouldn't think for a second.
I'm not sure she...
Just think, Jack, just think! The ties didn't just flood the city with drugs. Oh, no, that would not be enough. The ties killed her precious Sheriff Wells. Well, that's what she believes anyway. But would they stop at that? Oh, no. The ties killed Gail Greenberg. And was that enough? Not at all. Now the ties had also killed her champion, Captain Carter. As far as I know, Jack, you made sure poor Lily thought as much. You can be sure, Jack. Hatred for her enemy has all but blinded our sheriff. Like her predecessor, like her predecessor's predecessor. Consider this a Sharpwood tradition.
Suppose she agrees. Although I do not really believe she will, then I'll still need to deliver and take out these ties.
Is that a problem? I thought you were an experienced cop.
I don't even know where their headquarters are.
But I do. I learned a lot from our distinguished young student, Arthur Sherman. The scholar couldn't be held in isolation without books. He traded all the valuable secrets of the insidious neckties for the Viscount de Bragelonne. Can you imagine?
Even if I can.
Oh, that must be Victor. Don't worry, Jack. She'll agree. You'll see. She'll agree without hesitation. Call me when you made the deal. Just don't leave it too long. Here, little souvenir from Freeburg. Hello. What? Why does he need so much? It doesn't matter how much he's willing to pay. It's physically impossible at that time. Look, last time we checked, 4 was more than 2.
Jamie, Corey, great. Come help me move some papers from Sheriff Wells's office. A lot of papers and some other stuff, too. Come on, guys, let's get moving.
Sheriff Wells' office? I thought we, aren't we not allowed to enter his office?
You don't need to go inside. Just wait in the hall. I'll take it all out and you can help get it downstairs. I'll get some twine or something to tie up the stacks of folders.
Sheriff Reed here?
Yeah, we're waiting for her. She asked me and Jamie to come help with. Hey, what's that? Mold?
That? Oh yeah, that's black mold.
Yeah, I can see it's black. Has it been there for long?
You just noticing that? Then you better not look at the ceiling in the dining hall. It's all rotten, from one end to the other. I always think the thing is gonna fall on me, like it's a race. Can I finish my sandwich before the ceiling finishes me?
Oh man. Can mold cause coughing? It's bad for your health, right? Some kind of toxin or something?
What? Hardly.
Oh, man. Feels like I've been breathing in garbage. When was the last time we had repairs?
Repair? Are you kidding? This place has been falling apart for 40 years.
How old is this building? 80 years?
122.
That old? Are you sure?
You ever read the sign at the entrance?
You think I'm the kind of person who reads dumb signs?
Well, it's been right in front of your nose every morning for how long you worked here? 11 years?
Going on 13.
13 years? And you never looked at the sign? 13 years and you never noticed the black mold on the ceiling. And I heard from your wife that for 13 years you haven't,
Look, you want me to look at mold all these years? I don't even think it was there before.
It used to be white mold. Now it's black. These are different types of fungus. When the temperature...
Yeah, what's the fucking difference? Black or white? I've never seen white mold before, or black mold. And the floor didn't used to creak. Maybe we have termites. I do not want to fall through the floor one day.
Hey, you got a cigarette? Got a light?
A light? Sheriff Reed isn't going to be happy about smoking in the station.
Sheriff Reed doesn't have to know everything, right? It's me. Yeah, already done. She agreed. Very. No, that won't be necessary. No, let Marino bring me everything in writing, then I'll do it myself. Yes. Excellent.
I'll be very, very quick.
Miss Weinstein, you...
I can't be long. I just brought you a letter from your dad and some food.
Miss Weinstein, you better go, you know?
I'm already leaving, dear. Take this.
Is this her, Dylan? This is her?
I'm Miss Weinstein, young man, and you're probably Edgar. I'm glad to meet you. I'm a friend of your father. He asked me to give you something very important.
Tell him we don't need anything from him. You understand? I don't care. We don't care what he wants to say. He missed his chance to fix anything a long time ago. We lived without our whore mother. We'll figure out how to get by without our kingpin father. Tell him that. You hear me?
Your father is very worried, and he only wants to...
Oh, of course he's worried, of course! With all the money he stole, with a boxcar full of gold, with all his fucking pictures, I'm sure all he's doing is sitting and worrying, sipping a Chardonnay or some other shit. No doubt he's worried sick! Maybe he's even praying for us. Thanks very much.
I'm sure, Edgar, if you just read this...
Wasn't that clear enough? If I see you here again, I'll call the police.
Sorry, Miss Weinstein, I'm sorry.
You go out every night like this, Miss Weinstein? What about your sick mother?
I wasn't gone half an hour. Well, isn't our next meeting scheduled for the day after tomorrow?
I ran out of patience.
So you can't wait to ask me the same questions again?
Oh, the questions are new. You can't get any newer than these.
I'd offer you some coffee, but I'm sure that...
Do you know who Anastas Culp is?
I don't understand how it's... How do you...
I know you didn't want his legs to be broken. You didn't want to make a cripple out of him. You just wanted your mother's jewels back and made a little mistake. How did you know that your private detective worked under a fake license and served 2 terms, right?
I'm not sure that...
I know you wanted the best. I know that Jack Boyd covered for you, and I also know that your mother has absolutely nothing to do with any of it. But I can easily prove that she came up with the whole thing herself, and even threw the detective a couple hundred extra to make sure Anastas Kolp wouldn't get up from his wheelchair for the rest of his life. After all, they were her jewels.
My mother...
I don't know how sick your mother really is, but I think she'll be able to handle a few years behind bars.
What do you need?
Write down how to find Jack Boyd. And if I go to the address that you give me, and I really do find him there, I promise that we'll never see each other again. It's not the only time Jack Boyd has covered your ass, is it? Of course it's not the only time. Of course, the kind-hearted Mr. Boyd rescued everyone. He helped everyone. What would we do without him, right?
Why do you want to catch him so badly? You know for a fact that he's not who everybody thinks he is.
It hasn't been cleaned. There, upstairs, Sheriff Wells never cleaned the office.
Don't worry. I'll get it straightened up. How do I look?
Like a police chief.
After the 6th round, if you're still telling me you didn't miss all this, I swear there'll be mushroom soup in the 7th.
I wouldn't notice the difference. Your beer is shit.
It's your beer now, First Deputy Nash. From now on, you're one of us.
Doesn't make the beer any less sour.
You're picky? That's good, it's good. The higher your position, the higher your standards. When you officially become sheriff, we'll have to make sure you got bourbon on tap.
I don't have running water.
We'll fix that too. We'll fix everything.
Hey, Colonel, Otis asked me to give you...
Well, finally. I thought he forgot.
Look what a mess he made of it. He could have added a little sparkle and some flowers.
I guess old Otis thought it was for Melissa. Actually, it's for my friend, the police chief.
Wow, police chief?
I'm not the police chief.
Come on, nobody cares about formalities. How about you, Colin? You officially the manager of the bar?
Officially, I'm unemployed. And you haven't even officially been colonel for years. So, what are we celebrating, guys? Birthday?
You could say that.
So what, Colonel? You gonna give your friend a private dance for his birthday?
Yeah, my figure's not like it was 30 years ago.
Viola will stand in for you today. She'll be free in a couple of minutes, all right?
You think I didn't try to convince them? But Mr. Nash here had a tough week. Looks like he just wants to go rest and be alone with his thoughts, I suppose.
Alone with his thoughts? Any thoughts in the police boss's head about raiding my bar?
Don't doubt this man. Our new police chief will arrest a lot of us, and your bar will be shaken from top to bottom.
And he'll find nothing but pleasure here. Okay, Colonel. Since your friend wants to be alone, maybe we'll just go up to my office and discuss the payment for our Christmas supply.
You gonna beg me for a discount again?
Don't forget, I've got a loyal customer card.
I'll be right back, First Deputy Nash. Don't get bored.
What else does he want? All right, I'm coming already.
On your knees.
I'm not armed. I don't have a gun. I have a gun in my holster, but I'm not resisting. I'll try not to...
Lift up your head and look at me, you asshole!
Lana? It's you. Why are you... How are you here?
Shut up! As long as I'm talking, you'll be silent. You've already talked enough. You no longer have the right to a fucking word! Whatever flies out of your stinking mouth, it'll be a lie. We both know it. If you start defending yourself, you'll lie. If you start listing all those ridiculous excuses you've imagined for yourself, you'll lie. Even if you beg for forgiveness, you'll lie. All you can do now is roll around on the floor and moan pitifully. Did you hear me?
Lana, I should... I don't...
Did you hear me? Are you even capable of hearing anyone besides yourself? Oh, what a shame no one can see you now, Jack. What a shame. All those assholes reading the newspapers have you down for a criminal genius who had everyone fooled, off spending his loot somewhere. And don't forget the crazies who believe you're a hero who was taken in and used. How surprised would they all be to see the real you? And here he is, the real you, an old man shitting himself with fear and nothing more. Oh, you scared, Jack? You afraid? Afraid I'm gonna arrest you, Jack? You can dream of going to prison, you piece of shit, because that's a gift you don't deserve. You won't be getting off that easy. No. You know who is going to jail, Jack? All those bureaucrats and thieves and murderers in the expensive suits. All the con artists who seized the city and divided up all the official posts among themselves. They'll be doing serious time, I can tell you that. I swear they will go down. I know that they will go down, and they know it too. They know they're living on borrowed time. They know it's waiting for them. And when they're led out of the courthouse in handcuffs, even the most unprincipled bastard among them will know in his heart that he's got what he deserved. But not you, Jack. Because you're worse than all the rest. You think you're a victim, that it's everybody else's fault. If you go to prison, you'll think you're a great martyr. There's no punishment that you would consider fair because, after all, you're the hero who got used, right? You really believe all that. And worse, you made everyone else believe it too. Now what are we gonna do with you, Jack? What's it gonna be? What should I do now? What should your poor secretary do now? All the people who compromise their morals for you. What should we all do now? How are we gonna get out of this? Do you hear the police sirens, Jack? Do you hear the helicopters? Do you hear the SWAT team breaking through your windows? You don't hear them? You know why? Because I got scared. I got scared. I ran away, and now I'm no better than you, and it's your fault. Yours and nobody else's. Look at me, Jack. Look at me, damn it! This is what you've turned me into. It's the same thing you do to everyone around you. Well, are you gonna just lie there or pour me a drink? Can I help you?
I'd like...
Oh, what a beautiful star you have. You must be the sheriff?
Yes. I'm Lily Reed, the sheriff, and you are...
Oh, I'm Lana Berman, the prosecutor.
Miss Berman. You, in Sharpwood.
I'm on vacation. Decided to come up north, breathe in the clean air. The snow is so white here.
I see.
So did you want something, Sheriff Lily Reed?
Warren Nash. I'd like to talk to Warren Nash.
Warren Nash? Well, yes, of course, Warren Nash. Hey, Warren Nash, wake up.
What?
He didn't show up at work, and I figured he might...
Oh, no, what a jerk. I always told him, you want to lose your job, Warren Nash? What will you do if you lose your job, Warren Nash? Can you even stick to the simplest rules? But what can you do with a man like Warren Nash? He's just that kind of guy. He never thinks about the consequences, you know what I mean? It was nice to meet you, Sheriff Lily Reed.
You knew this could happen. You knew, but you didn't do anything about it. You're a fugitive, and you don't even have a plan if they come for you.
You knew it could happen, too. You knew just as much as I did.
You brought her here. You, by your actions or your inactions, but it was you, not someone else. God, what a fool I am, thinking you'd have some kind of plan. What could the plan be if you don't even know what she's going to do? What could we plan when we don't even know what she's doing right now, there at the house?
I'll sort this out. I don't know how, but I'll figure it out. I'll deal with everything.
Well, tell me, Jack. Tell me how, because the only option I see is that we're both going to jail because of you.
I said I'll figure it out.
Well, that's not enough, Jack. I can't sit and wait until you figure it out.
It's not enough. You can't sit and wait? Seriously? I thought that's all you did, sitting and waiting. Isn't that your main talent, to sit and wait for the rest of us to solve your problems for you? Isn't that right? Tell me you haven't been sitting and waiting all these years, hiding behind your precious Sheriff Wells, never learning the first thing about police work. That guy Gale, didn't he do everything for you? No? What about me? Don't I do all your work for you? And Captain Carter, don't pretend you didn't try to dump all your problems on him. Wake up, Lily. You can't figure anything out. And the only thing you're good at is finding other people who sort everything out for you. And now you're telling me that because of me, we're going to jail. You didn't fuck yourself, huh? And now I'm the guilty one. So the problem is me, right, Lily? All your problems are because of me. Well, sort it out, Lily. You're still the sheriff here, right? You're afraid that I'll tell everyone how you covered for a fugitive? It's a problem, Lily. Come on, solve it. Yourself, for the first time in your life. What, you don't like the gun? Yeah, you're right. Fuck the gun. Too much noise. It's very sharp. You could easily slaughter a bull with this thing. Even a snotty little girl could manage it. One move, Lily. One stroke, and all your problems will melt away. What, you're not ready? Not ready to solve your own problems? Well, then stop fooling yourself and trust the guy who's gonna do everything for you. Well, what am I now, Lana? Your accomplice? Your prey? Your hostage, I guess?
Hostage? Do you think this entire fucking situation is so easy to explain? It's just that simple, just one word?
You'll have to explain this somehow, if they catch me.
You know, Jack, it's a miracle that you still haven't been caught. A real miracle. I thought you'd be smart enough to stay invisible. I figured that a former police chief knows that in a situation like this, your only option is to climb into the darkest hole you can find and don't stick your head out. But no, crawling in the mud is for criminals, right? Not for our hero cop, Jack Boyd. Our Jack Boyd is now first deputy sheriff, walking around in front of everyone with a beautiful star in his chest. Are you fucking serious, Jack? Do you really not see that sooner or later she's going to give you up?
She can't give me up. She needs me. She knows she needs me.
Oh, yeah? You sure know how to convince people they need you. I can't deny you've got a knack for it. There's a lot of people in Freeburg who believed it. I believed it too. And where's it gotten us?
I want to talk to Colonel Liam Henderson.
What? You think I'm driving around with a DeVroom painting in the back seat?
There's something you have to hear. Right now. But not here. No, even further. Even here, someone could hear us.
Are you kidding? We're in the middle of a snowy desert. There's no one here. Look around.
Okay. Here.
I just want him to disappear, and I don't care exactly how it happens. I'm not asking you about your methods.
You know our methods well, Sheriff Reed. And you also know that things like this aren't done for free.
How do you think a sheriff can repay you? I can forget that you exist. Forever.
That's a generous offer, Sheriff Reed. I can't deny it.
That's enough.
You really want to be rid of this person so much?
I said enough!
Yes, I do. I really do.
Colonel Henderson said that you wouldn't do anything. He has a plan, but he needs to work out all the details. Meanwhile, you act like nothing's happened, okay?
A brainless bitch. What a brainless bitch.
Hey, Mr. Boyd.
Wait. No, wait, stop! What are you blaming me for? What did I do? I'm just a messenger. Wait, hold on! Fuck!
Come on, Fran, come on. I know you're awake. You never sleep.
Hello, you've called Fran Potts. It seems I'm not home right now, but if you just leave a message...
Bitch!
Who were you calling?
None of your business.
None of my business. Whose business is it then? This whole situation is pretty fucked up, but it definitely affects both of us. So if you think you're gonna keep freezing me out...
Shut up! Do you seriously think that you have the right to open your mouth? You think you're in a position to bitch? Remember when I said that the situation was too complicated to describe it in one word? Forget that shit. In reality, it's very simple. You're my prisoner. You got me? I'm making myself clear? You're a prisoner and you will behave like a prisoner, and you will obediently remain silent until I decide what I'm going to do with you. Is that clear?
Prisoner? Look at me, Lana. Do I look like a prisoner? Somehow I don't see the chains on my hands and feet. I could just break your neck right now and run. Does it look like I'm captive?
Break my neck. If you were the least bit honest with yourself, I would have been dead a long time ago. Lots of people have died and will continue to die because of you, but you still refuse to consider yourself a murderer. Why, Jack? Just because you never strangled anyone personally? Just like you don't consider yourself a thief because you decided to limit yourself to an idiotic $500,000. I've always been surrounded by people who know how to brainwash everybody around them, but I've never met another man who has so completely brainwashed himself. Those are your chains, Jack. It's your endless self-deception.
Camilla, what the fuck? My penis turned into an icicle 20 minutes ago.
It's not Camilla.
Ethan? What's the matter? Who is it?
I'm sure it must be Jeff. He might have some new information on the case I told you about, remember? He warned me that he might come at night if there was something urgent. So I told him that
Ethan,
I would...
What the fuck are you talking about? What's the matter with him? He can't just call?
Marla, baby, I'll talk to him for 2 minutes and get back to bed, okay?
If you don't come to bed right now, I swear, Ethan, you'll be sleeping on the couch for the rest of your very short and very painful life.
2 minutes, baby. Just 2 minutes. What do you want, kid?
Sir, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, sir. I understand that this will sound weird, sir, but over there, some guy on the phone wants to talk to you. He says his name is Bobby Flash.
Ethan, Ethan, is that you?
Yes, Jack, it's me.
Ethan, I need help, Ethan. Help me. I know that only you can help me.
Where are you, Jack?
What's the plan, Ethan? Tell me what we're gonna do. Tell me everything in detail.
Where are you, Jack? Where are you now?
Just tell me what to do, Ethan. We'll do whatever you say. Just tell me the first step, the second step. Explain everything to me in order. I need to explain everything to me, Ethan.
Just tell me where you are and I'll come. I'll come as soon as I can.
Let me come to you myself, okay? I'm here. It's not safe here. I can't stay here any longer. I'm leaving now. I'll try. If they grab us, Ethan, I'll tell them that you don't know anything. I'll tell them that.
Jack!
I won't tell them that you helped me. I won't tell them anything. We'll make sure of that.
Jack! Listen to me. Don't go anywhere. You need to turn yourself in, Jack. That's the only way I can help you, all right?
What?
You need to turn yourself in, Jack. But I give you my word that
No, Ethan, not you. Ethan, just not you. Why are you doing this, Ethan? You know me. You know me. You know who I am. They don't know, but you know. Have you forgotten me, Ethan? Remember who I am, Ethan. It's me. It's me.
Jack, I promise you as a friend that as soon as you...
Excuse me, can I help you?
What do you want?
I asked, are you all right?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Are you sure you don't need any help?
I said I'm fine. I don't need anybody. Get out of here already.
Damn, he's awake.
By the way, this won't be the first attack on the Sharpwood Sheriff's Department. Marino brought me a pile of old newspapers here. Yeah, the poor bastard collects newspapers. Can you figure? Not comics. No, nothing easy like that. No, newspapers. Old ones, new ones, local, overseas, all sorts. I bet he's got a whole closet filled with newspapers with your name on the front page. Well, he brought me some to read from his collection, and it turns out that back in '52, the department got a bunch of Molotov cocktails through the front window. They barely saved the building. Then in '59, there was a gunfight, and then in 1960, there was another one. So look at it this way, Jack. We're going with tried and true methods.
But it's the first attack on the sheriff's department where the sheriff's gonna get killed.
Let's hope it's the last one. Now look at it this way.
Excuse me, Colonel, but Mr. Summers wants to talk to you. He said that if you don't explain right now why Friday's delivery was delayed...
Rocky, what the fuck? Don't you see that we're talking here? Did it cross your mind that this could be more important? Do you think that First Deputy Nash and me are sitting here playing pool?
Colonel, I
Rocky, if we were still serving the army, I'd bust you down to latrine duty. You'd be clearing toilets in the barracks with a toothbrush for a month. But you know what? I might just make you do that anyhow. I can do that, right? How do you like that idea, Rocky? You probably already forgot.
I'll wait for you outside, Colonel.
As for the details, there aren't many people in this town I can trust, so try not to get my guys killed. Yours are a dime a dozen, and mine are itching for a good gunfight. So 2 or 3 cops are going to get shot. Maybe 5 at most. Just pick the ones you don't mind getting rid of. I don't think you'll have much of a problem with that. And there's something else.
What?
Maybe we should shoot you, too.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
No. I just mean a little poke. Slightly shot. In the hand and leg for heroism. So nobody has any doubt that it was First Deputy Nash who bravely defended the department, standing firm while the bullets flew past. Who else could be the next sheriff?
I'm the first deputy. If Sheriff Reed dies, I'll automatically take her place. Why make any extra fuss?
Come on, Jack. You never watch a movie? All the heroes are wounded at the end. They all have scars. They're getting interviewed by the press from their hospital beds, promising to return to service as soon as possible and set things straight. Otherwise, it's just too boring.
And if the injury turns out to be serious enough that I can't physically manage the duties of sheriff, how boring would that be?
You know what? You're right. Better not to take any chances. You need anything from me? I have 10 boxes of fireworks. We could fill the whole place with smoke and really make it look like something.
Arthur Sherman.
Huh?
Arthur Sherman. He knows who I am. It'd be better if I discussed it with him, personally. Bring him to me.
Okay, Jack, okay. If that's what you want. But listen, that harmless college boy couldn't even...
Colonel, I'm sorry. I tried to tell him that...
For fuck's sake! Mr. Nash, you remember me saying something about not killing my guys? Let's make an exception. Shoot this bastard. Remember the red mustache? Put it in the mud.
Mr. Summers said that if you don't speak to him right away, he's gonna turn you into the sheriff.
You hear that, Sheriff Nash? That's a serious threat. Serious. I better go and talk to him, right? Just stick to the plan, Jack. Soon everything will be settled.
Arthur Sherman. No need to sign for him.
Still want to hear that story? The story about the DeVroom painting? Get ready. Let's go have that beer. It's a long story.
I knew you'd do it, Mr. Boyd. I knew you'd finally decide to give me some time.
Really?
And you're doing it because you're a man with a conscience. You feel guilty. Guilty for the night when you left me alone in the middle of the field. Now, you can act like a heartless dictator, Mr. Boyd, and I understand why you need to. Makes a big impression, on most people anyway. We need to keep everyone in suspense, right? Fear and respect, the basis of order. Isn't that what they say? Or is it something else? Well, never mind. Anyway, but you couldn't manage to fool me, Mr. Boyd. I always knew. Caesar is merciful. Caesar spared Massilia. Caesar is a gentle ruler. Caesar never...
I'll be in the car.
I'm right behind you. Caesar the merciful! Hail, merciful Caesar!
First Deputy Nash.
Hey, Jack, listen, I know it's a strange question, but I don't have anyone else to ask. Have you spoken to Marino lately?
I'm not sure.
It's just that he hasn't been in touch, and normally he checks in every day. Did he come to work?
To be honest, I wasn't paying attention. Usually he's not here when I come in, and he's already gone by the time I leave.
But he's the dispatcher there, among other things, right? Have you heard his voice on the radio?
I didn't pay much attention. Sometimes one of the other guys covers for him, so I'm not sure. I just don't know.
Oh, okay, there's nothing to worry about, nothing at all. This isn't the first time. This one girl he sees off and on. One time he up and took her someplace for a week and didn't tell me anything. I didn't kill him at the time, but this time I'm going to. I'm telling you, I'll strangle him with my own hands. You remember if a girl came by the station recently?
I think
A redhead with pigtails, wagging her hips all over the place. You'd have to remember it.
I think that, yes, probably. Maybe. I remember something. I'm not sure, but it's possible. Maybe if you want,
Forget it, Jack. Forget it. We didn't need to get all worried about that son of a bitch, did we? After all, why do we need some asshole to run my errands when I have first deputy?
True, right. I'm sure he'll show up soon. Now, I need to get back to work, so...
Yes, Jack. I'm sorry. Sorry. See you later.
Oh, seriously, Seymour? Again? At this rate, we won't get to the bra till Easter?
Well, I can't turn it off, baby. I can't. But I can send them to hell. Where should I send them, my dear, huh? Just tell me, dear. I'll give them all your curses verbatim. We'll send them to where they can never bother us again. And then we'll get to that bra.
You have 5 seconds.
What?
One-time payment, $300,000. $300,000, and I don't want to hear anything more about you or about the feds on my tail. And I need decent documents. Call your friend from the ministry.
Friend? Friend from the ministry? What are you talking about?
Well, that's it. God, Gilda. And you left your own business for this?
You were fencing stolen electronics. Gilda, my dear, do we have to go through all this again? This is an important client.
Mm-hmm. I hope your important client can shake their tits the way you like.
It's gonna cost a lot more than $300,000, Jack. A lot more. $1 million at least.
$1 million? Don't you think I can't find someone who'll get rid of my problems for $300,000? Don't you think I can find someone who'll get rid of you for $300,000? Good night, Fry.
Stop, Jack. Hey, just wait a second. Wait. I got excited. It worked up, okay? You just called in an awkward moment. But, I've called you at uncomfortable moments. I know that. I admit it. Let's say we're even, all right? Even? 700,000.
400.
500. 500,000, Jack. $500,000. Not too much and not too little, huh?
Done. You can come up personally when you have the documents.
Of course, Jack. Of course I can't.
Oh, thought you could steal my tape recorder, you creep? What a petty fucker you are, Seymour.
You left it here. What do I need with
You were glad I left it, weren't you? You're getting it appraised right now, aren't you? Well, I can see right through you, Seymour.
You know what, Gilda? Go. Go and take your tape recorder with you along with your bra and your stupid grudges. Go back to your criminals if you can't stand being with a real man who does real work. Run back to your buddy Kravitz. I'm sure he's got a couple of stolen TVs for you.
Buy a bus ticket to Nurking. That's the closest place to Big Rift where traffic goes past. My guys will meet you. When you know exactly when you'll be arriving, call me. And don't forget the documents.
Sheriff Reed. What? How? I'm coming. I'll be right there.
Good Lord, when are we gonna take that thing down? A dream of seeing how nice that thing burns. I'd say...
Shut up! Now's not the time!
Just look at it. It's like it's tearing out my soul. But I'm not superstitious, not even a little. Mr. Nash, can we please take that thing down?
You live through the night, you can do whatever you want.
Well, finally. Tomorrow I'll get my...
Quiet! You hear that? Get in position. Can't talk. It's okay. You've already talked enough. I'm willing to bet, Colonel, that you're trying to figure out where you went wrong. And really, where? You're definitely not the stupidest criminal I've ever met. And all your, let's call them, philosophical reflections. You know what? There's something in them. Something true. Something that really gets me. I've had to deal with much more pretentious bastards than you. And even this plan of yours to wage an assault on the department. Was it crazy? Maybe. But again, it's not the craziest assault I've ever been a part of. A little more luck and it might have all worked out for you. So what's the problem? The problem is, Colonel, that you told everything. Absolutely everything. All your thoughts, all your ideas, all your fucking plans to the police chief. To the police chief! You must be completely nuts, right? Never played cops and robbers with your friends as a kid? It's a fun game, and the rules are very simple. The robbers are the bad guys, and the cops are the good guys. But don't worry, Colonel. I'll make sure that everyone here keeps choking down your smelly soup. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Get this trash out of my department.
Are you Mr. Fry?
Excuse me?
I asked, are you Mr. Fry?
Yeah, yes, I'm Mr. Fry, and you're from Mr. Nash, right?
That's right, from Mr. Nash. You know, we've been waiting for you for over an hour.
Yes, it's a shitty bus. You said you waited an hour? You must have some very warm jackets, guys. What do you say? You got an extra one for me?
Of course, Mr. Fry, of course. Let's get you into the car. We'll think of something.
Don't be offended, guys, but wow, you got yourselves a frozen cesspool out here.
Ah, we're not offended. Right, Jesse? We're not offended.
Not at all, it's true. We live in a shithole.
You should see our slaughterhouse.
Your slaughterhouse?
Sure, the slaughterhouse. Our mother always told us that if you want to know how clean the town is, you check how clean they keep their slaughterhouse.
How clean they keep their slaughterhouse?
Don't pay attention to my brother, Mr. Fry. It's just the kind of stuff we deal with out here.
That's right, local jokes. Get on in, Mr. Fry. There's plenty of space in back.
What beautiful shoes you have, Mr. Fry. What a picture.
She always says that when I want to try something new. I bought myself a tie. You look like a jerk in it. I thought about getting an earring in my ear. Only total jerks do that. You know, I did feel like a jerk when I first sat down on that thing. Then I got to thinking. It makes so much sense. Once everything is covered with snow, a snowmobile will come in pretty handy, right? I started it up, drove it around, and you know what? The real jerks are the ones who keep driving cars and riding bikes in this weather. That's what I think. And I keep thinking about that advertisement. All the roads open before me. And it's true. I know, it sounds silly, but I swear, that's really how I felt. Like there were no more barriers. Like I'm finally in control of this situation. You know the feeling, Mr. Nash?
Yeah, it's a great story, kid. The money's in the envelope, like always.
Oh, by the way, those cigars you asked about earlier? Kings, right? Mr. Summers found a reliable supplier, but it'll still take at least a week, so I told him that you probably wouldn't want.
Caesars.
Excuse me?
Caesars. The cigars are called Caesars. Order them.
Oh yes, of course, Caesars. No problem, Mr. Nash, no problem. I just wanted to say that...
I don't care how long it takes. I'm not going anywhere.
careless love. You fly through my head like wine. You've read the life of many a poor soul. Let me spoil this life of mine. Fickle love. Even now, false hope runs through my veins. Hope that perhaps there's a way to drive your darkness from the days. But all you left upon my tongue was bitter taste. Just like the heart you stole once was so fine. Leaves me feeling empty and full of woe. Gave you all I had, and you gambled it away. But a shell of what I was so long ago. Love, oh love, oh careless love. You spoiled this life of mine.
Emma, it's me.
Mr. Boyd? Oh, Mr. Boyd. Oh, forgive me, Mr. Boyd. I'm
Emma,
sorry.
Emma, listen to me. Everything's fine. Lana made it. She's here.
Mr. Boyd, I couldn't help it.
She wants to help me, Emma. Do you hear me? Help me. Clear my name, you know? We have a plan, but we need your help. We need you to, basically, you know, this isn't something we can talk about over the phone. Will you help me, Emma?
Mr. Boyd,
Just come out here, Emma. Come out and we'll figure it out. You know where to find me. You know where to find me.
Of course, Mr. Boyd. Of course.
I'm counting on you, Emma.